Hello everyone, and welcome to our next strategy training video. If you remember, in the previous video I explained to you about the T-line strategy, which is a strategy that I have on all of my charts and that I've been using for several years very successfully. Today's strategy that we will look at is quite different, and it's aimed at a specific currency pair for a specific time frame for a specific type of trading called scalping. And if you remember in basic videos, scalping is where you're just in and out, trying to make a few short trades for a few pips, which will add up over a period of trading for an hour or two. This scalping strategy was actually designed by Mario Singh, who is the CEO and founder and owner of our broker, Fullerton Markets. And it's called the Piranha Scalping Strategy. And Mario wrote about this in his best-selling book, The 17 Proven Currency Trading Strategies. So let's see how this scalping strategy works. How do you set it up? How do you implement the scalping strategy? First of all, we only use it on the time frame of 5 minutes. Okay, that makes sense. You're only going to be looking to make a few short pips on a few short trades. So it's the 5-minute time frame. And the currency pair that we use it on is the pound US. And this is the only currency pair that I've used it on. You can try it if you want on other currency pairs with a demo account. But this is the tried, true, tested and proven currency pair that Mario tested it with. And it's the same strategy, same currency pair, same time frame that he writes about in his book. So it uses an indicator that you have not been familiar with, and I don't use this indicator on any of my other strategies except this Piranha Scalping strategy. And it's an indicator called the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands is an indicator that comes with the MT4 download, so I will show you how to set that up at the end of this presentation. And in the Bollinger Bands, this is very important, you do not use the default settings. We have to change the settings, and I'll show you how to do that, so that the period is 12. The default, I believe, is 20 or 24. And then the deviation 2, which is the default. Now, when do you use this strategy? Okay, you need to find the correct time, of course, to use this Piranha Scalping strategy. And it's when the currency is in a range, or when the currency is trading sideways. Most people don't like to trade in a range because the currency doesn't go anywhere. It's only moving sideways. And myself, I prefer to trade with a trend when I know or expect that the currency pair or the commodity is going to move up for a long way or move down for a long way. But with scalping, we take a different mindset. We want the currency to be trading sideways. We want the currency to be trading in a range. So obviously we don't trade during news when you're going to have something that might dramatically impact the movement and cause big moves up or big moves down. And certainly we don't use this strategy for trading during trends when the direction would only be either up for a long time or down for a long time. So we're looking for the currency to be in a range or trading sideways. So first of all, let's look at how do we go for a buy trade, a long trade? Well, we wait for the market to touch the lower band. Now, I know you don't know what the Bollinger Bands look like, but you will shortly. Just be patient. Wait for the market to touch the lower band. Wait for the candle as it moves down to touch the lower band of the Bollinger Bands. And then you make your entry when the market price touches that lower band. The price is moving down and you are going to make a buy trade, but wait till the price touches the lower band. Then put your stop loss 10 pips below your entry price, and your take profit is only 5 pips above the entry price. Now oftentimes you can make more than 5 pips, but as a minimum that will be your target. Your take profit should be 5 pips above the entry price. So this is one screenshot that I took. I know it's a little bit hard to see the Bollinger Bands with them being in the blue color, but I've also highlighted each one of the entry points with a blue rectangle. So you can see here where the currency pair was coming down and it touched the lower band here. Although you can't see the band, I've highlighted it for you. So it touched the lower band. So you make a buy trade on the next candle. And sure enough, it moved up 7 pips. Okay, so that's all there is to it. You're waiting for the candle to come down, touch the lower band. When it touches the lower band, that's your entry point. Your take profit is only 5 pips, but in this case you made 7 pips. So where's your stop loss? 10 pips below the entry. So it's well down here. You would have never even got close to being stopped out on this trade. The short trade setup is just the opposite. You wait for the market to touch the upper band, and your entry can be made when the market price touches that upper band. And the stop loss is the same, whether it's a long trade or a short trade. Your stop loss is 10 pips above the entry price because you're going short, and the take profit is 5 pips below the entry price. So here's one example where we made more than 5 pips. You touch the upper band here, so you go short on the next candle. It moved down, and you say, oh, but it came back up here. Yes, it did. But where's your stop loss? Your stop loss is 10 pips, way up above here. Never even considered or got close to stopping you out on this trade. So although it did go, it went down initially, came back up, went down a little bit more, came back up, and then it made the big drop down. And this total move, which each candle being 5 minutes, this was a long one, it would have been 13 pips profit. So a one lot trade on that, $130 in about 45 minutes or so. Now I took another screenshot to show you how it will typically look if you are using this Piranha Scalping strategy over a period of a couple of hours, where you make a long trade here, moves up, you take 7 pips. You make a long trade here, where it moves up, you make 8 pips. Make a long trade here, where it moves up, you make 16 pips. Make a short trade here, and 12 pips. So one standard lot size trade on this $70, $80, $160, and $120 in a period of just a couple of hours. Okay, so what I want to do now is, you have my contact numbers already from a previous presentation. I want to jump over to the actual MT4 chart and show you how to set up this template for the Piranha Scalping strategy. First of all, you need to open the pound US dollar, which I have, and you need to have it on the 5-minute time frame. Now if you have downloaded the indicators, which I posted on a previous video from Dropbox, you will, or maybe if you have trained with me live, I've given to you on a USB drive, you will have the template already installed. So you just open your templates icon and go down here till you find the Piranha Scalping strategy, and it's already set up for you. All you do is just click Piranha Scalping and the template will be on your screen. But if you don't have that, you can easily go to your navigator window, come down to the trend indicators, find the Bollinger Bands, drag and drop that over to your screen, and here is where we want to change the default. I think it was probably 20 or 24 is the default, but we want to change that to 12, and the deviations was 2, which is the default. And I don't know what it comes in MT4. I think it comes as a green, but I have found that white color is the best to have on your screen. It's the easiest to see on a dark background. And then you can make the Bollinger Bands as wide as you want. I prefer just a little bit wider than the very thin one, so I'll choose that one and click OK. I don't need the navigator window anymore. And there you have it. That is your Piranha Scalping Bollinger Band strategy, a template all set up. So let's go back and see. We can scroll back. You can back test this by just going back and looking and see if you can find places where it looked like it might have been trading in a sideways range. Here we've got one, yeah, going across there. This is a bit of a downtrend here. Wouldn't have worked very well. You see it's not ever touching the upper band. But over here we've got some good sideways movement in this one. So here we touch the upper band, so you go short. Comes down here, touches the lower band, you go long. Comes up here, then goes sideways again, goes all the way up here, okay, so you could exit the trade there, and it touches the upper band, so you go short again. Comes down here, touches the lower band, so you go long again. All right, it's quite simple. Just scroll back on your screen, and you'll need to play around with it, play with it on a demonstration account until you get familiar and comfortable with it. But let's see how many pips we would have made on these trades. There's the upper band, you go short. Oh, 20 pips on that one. Okay, and it's touched the lower band, so you go long. And you could exit, well, here's 18 pips just to right there. Or if you stayed in it, even though it's coming down, okay, and going sideways, stayed in it, there's 32 pips. All right, and then you went short on that one, where it touched the upper band, you went short. And there's 22 pips just on 3 candles, okay, in 15 minutes. All right. So, and the idea is, if you understand the concept of scalping, is that you are in front of your screen. You have your mouse, you're watching it, and it's not the case of where you set the stop loss and then you come back and check it a couple of hours later. That's not the concept of scalping at all. The idea is that you have an hour or two to sit in front of the screen, and there is sideways movement in the currency pair, and you take advantage of that with the Bollinger Bands. When it hits the upper band, you go short. When it hits the lower band, you go long. And it's not going to work every time, okay? You will get occasionally stopped out. But if you can make 3 trades out of 5, you can be successful with this trading strategy. Okay? So I hope that helps you to understand a very simple strategy that you can use for trading. Some people like scalping. I used to scalp all the time. I don't anymore. I have shifted to where I prefer trend trading. But it just depends upon your style, your time availability, and what type of trading you enjoy. So try this. If you have any comments or questions, just let me know. Remember, my Telegram ID is @RickRayFX. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.